Everybody, it is First and 10. Welcome into our first ever live show. The game plan every single Friday. We're at 6 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be going live talking about different topics. Today, we are going to be talking about not one, not two, but 10 underrated prospects in the 2026 NFL Draft. A lot of good names. I'm already seeing in the chat right now. We got Brian Parker getting a shout out, offensive lineman. I think he's more of a guard at the NFL level more than a tackle, but I think he's a really
I
good
do
player.
too.
And then quarterback from Kansas, Jalen Daniels.
Dylan Daniels.
He, I like Jalen Daniels. He just hasn't
I do
taken that big
too.
step forward.
He hasn't. He's been the
But
same guy for 5 years.
yeah, but he is a dog. He is an absolute dog. So we're gonna be going back and forth. I got my five. B Ross got his five. All that said, B Ross, I'm happy to have you here today, man. A lot of
Hey,
fun.
happy to be here.
A lot of
This
fun
is
looking
this
at some of
is
these underrated
this
prospects. This is right in your
yes.
wheelhouse.
Man, listen, this is what makes scouts good. Finding these guys right here. It's easy to find the top five guys. That's
Yes.
not hard. The fun and the money makers, it's those dudes who no one's talking about that turn out to be dogs.
Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna start off with my first underrated player. This is, I would say, the least of the underrated players we have today, but it's definitely an underrated player for sure. We're talking about safety, slot corner. We don't really know Jalen Kilgore from South Carolina. So the way that I did mine, I don't know how
Yeah.
you did yours, but when I'm looking for underrated players, I'm looking for like this guy has an elite trait to him, right? Because these guys are probably not going to go
Mm,
round one, maybe not even round two, but they have a certain quality about them that makes them stand out over somebody else. So
right.
for Jalen Kilgore, obviously South Carolina safety, multiple year starter, his elite trait, if at least in my opinion, he's got versatility. I think he is.
He
I think
does.
he's best suited around the line of scrimmage, like in the slot, in the nickel, just a little bit closer because he's a really physical player. But he
Yeah.
can also play as like a box safety. I think he can also go a little bit deep. If you look at his numbers in terms of where he's lining up, I mean he is lining up all over the place. 338 snaps in the slot, 4 at corner, 7 deep, 111 on the box. He's has 25 snaps on the defensive line. I mean, this guy, he can play multiple positions. So for me, I said I broke it down from pros and cons. Pros, I said he's got the size, the speed, and the experience to be an instant contributor. He's shown a consistent improvement every single year. He could play safety, corner, linebacker at times, anywhere he needs to be. And I said he's a weapon. He should be used as so. I think on the con side of things, he doesn't quite have a true position. And if he's not going to be a Nicky Monwari type of guy, who ironically came from South Carolina too, who had
Right.
elite athleticism, elite, arm talent or elite length and size, all that
Yeah.
stuff, where he can be used as a weapon. I don't know if he's going to be given that same sort of leniency. I have a feeling they're going to try to stick him in one position and let him learn.
Probably.
So a little bit worried about that, but um, and I also think he works better when he's man on man more so than he's in zone. I feel like at zone and sometimes he didn't read things properly or he didn't pass things off. Certain zone things I
Yeah.
didn't like about him. And just in general, I think he needs to play a little bit faster, a little bit smarter. But this is a player that you're not taking round one. You're probably not taking round two. You're probably taking him day three, early day three, late
Really day
day
three.
two. And if
Yeah.
you're getting this guy, he can be a contributor instantly on special teams. And I think as a like really solid, I don't know if he starts, but just weapon that can be used all across the field and can be a backup at multiple positions. I think Jalen Kilgore has a very high ceiling. I know B Ross, former DB yourself, you've seen enough of this guy. What are your thoughts on Kilgore?
You are spot on. Like to me, right now, he's a better athlete than he is
Player.
actual football player.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because he does so much, but he can do it because physically, I don't think it's too much he can't do physically. He can run, he's explosive. But to your point, I think he like sees things a little bit slow at times. So then it
Hmm.
causes him to get a step behind, whether in man or zone. But all the traits, all the physical traits that you were talking about when you were making your list, like all the traits are there. It's just that the football aspect hasn't necessarily connected for him.
I agree.
But to your point, like I think this is like you take this dude top around four, knowing that he's probably 2 years away, and you're good with that because he's going to do so much more. So if he's your dime linebacker on third down and he plays, 20 snaps for the first half of the season, like per game, I think you're good with that because he's going to get better and better with more reps. But I I'm a big fan of the player. I'm curious to see where teams play him because
Yeah.
the NFL is changing in terms of what a nickel is now. Because
Hmm.
like one of my favorites, like that I scouted was Jalen Petrie. Jalen Petrie is not
Oh
a
yeah.
corner,
No.
and but he's not really like a safety either. Like he plays
Mm-mm.
the nickel most of his snaps, and he's effective doing it. Granted, he's not an elite cover guy, you know what I mean, by any means, and he wasn't coming out of Baylor, but guys like guys like him, guys like Kilgore who can blitz, they can cover a little bit, they can cover tight ends, they can cover those elite backs, they can play in space, they can tackle, they can play deep if they need to.
Yeah.
But to me, like I think that's his role. He just has to clean up really his eyes because his eyes can be all over the place at times. But really like the player, I
Yeah, and
do.
it's
Big
it's
fan of
kind of
Kilgore.
it's kind of ironic because he's Nicky Monroy came out last year, and a lot of the same things we talk about Kilgore, we also kind of say about Nick. But I'll say
Yep.
I think Nick was a little bit more advanced. My issue
Yeah.
with Nick is I thought he was great in coverage, especially in intermediate to underneath stuff. My
Mm.
my issue for him is that I just didn't think he was a great tackler. Right? I think Kilgore was a really good
Inconsistent.
tackler. Um,
Yeah.
it's almost like if you could just fuse those two players together, it would be a really
You
good
have
one.
one of the best safeties ever.
Because you really would. I mean, the size between these guys is just. I mean, he's a 6'1", 211 pound safety nickel, and I think that's one of the things too that makes me kind of confused about like, can he
What's that?
play the nickel because of how
Yeah.
big he is?
Yeah.
You think so?
He can play it because like 211 and like the grand scheme of things, really not that big. Now, if we were talking
Yeah,
like 225,
too big. Yeah,
like yeah, now you're saying like can he hold up playing against those slot receivers on first and second down? Because like he's not going to play nickel on third down. They'll put in three like real corners. They probably move him to linebacker to keep him on the field.
it,
So,
it kind of
um,
reminds me his versatility a little bit of like what Dallas does with Marquise Bell, especially early in his
yes,
career,
yes,
where he
yes,
came in as a safety, but he was
yep,
really big, lengthy, and fairly strong for the position. They actually moved him to linebacker to be a more of a coverage guy, and they were banged up with like 5 injuries in the linebacker room. But he was actually a pretty
mhm.
decent player there. I kind of think Kilgore could be used in some ways like that, but I don't think he'd be a full time linebacker like they ended up doing with Marquise Bell.
No,
He could
no,
though, not full
not
time though.
at not at 211, but I do see him getting a good amount of snaps playing linebacker early because you got to think if he's doing that just on third downs, like what you do is rather simple. You're blitzing, you're playing man, you're dropping in the zone. That's it. Like I did it. Like I used to love third downs playing backer. I don't have to read nothing. They're not running the ball. It's the NFL. They don't run the ball on third down. Third and two, it's pass. Third and three, it's pass. Like so, his job inside would be a lot simpler. So I can see him getting snaps doing it. I don't think he is a full time linebacker like a guy you want playing there. Even in passing situation. I don't want him doing that too much because I think you lose some of his just natural ability as a good athlete when you slide him inside way too much.
I agree. Bryce the Goat, again, love Kilgore, man. Great prospect. Yeah, really fun player. All right, B Ross, you're up with your first underrated player.
Yeah, man. So first up, and so my my list was built differently because I wanted to highlight guys who really don't get any love, but like on tape, they're pretty good prospects and they're underrated due to whether they play at small schools, lack of size. It's something they lack, but they have enough traits where I think they can be really good pros. So, first guy, I went safety too. I was going safety with my first guy, regardless of who it was. But it's Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo, group of four player, 6'2", 200 pounds, and he's productive. He knows how to get the ball. And he plays kind of field safety, plays a little nickel. He's long, he's athletic. But you see his lack of size and strength at the top of routes consistently because he's just not a he's a tall, narrow hip kid, but good football player. Like he knows how to play in space. Pretty decent coverage skills. He can be inconsistent, but I liked him because I saw uh last night who blocked the punt, JL Skinner from Boise State. That's who he reminded me of. And JL when I
Mm,
want to say fifth, sixth round, and he's a special teamer who's working his way into the rotation. That's who I saw. Like I just went in my Rolodex and like that's who he reminded me of. And like I like JL, but he needed time to grow into his body because he was 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds, which is light for that height. So um I like Emmanuel. Like he can cover deep. He has really good range. Like taller safeties back deep naturally have better range. But he sees the game well. I'm a big fan of small school guys because those guys have so much more to prove and they're sometimes given the opportunity. And I think he's one of those guys. If given an opportunity, he can be a pretty good pro.
So a few questions about him. You gave me the list a few hours before this. I got to
Yep.
see a little bit of some film on him, and I came away pretty impressed. For starters, number one, how fast do you think he's going to run at the combine? Because that's
4.5.
4.5,
I,
low 4.5s, high 4.5s.
I think he runs low 4.5s.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah,
runs
from what I saw
like
too,
four
he
five
looks.
one, 4.55, somewhere in that range.
Mhm.
I can see him run. If he runs any faster than that, he's getting drafted way higher than what I even think. Because I think he goes middle of day 3, because teams need good safeties and they like size and all that stuff. So if he runs sub 4.5, then he goes bottom of 4, top of 5. But
Yeah. When I was watching the little bit of film I saw, he kind of gave
yeah,
me. I hate to make this comparison because I really liked the player coming out of college, but Kevin Winston, kind of similar to him in some
mm,
ways. I saw a little bit of that. Um,
I can see that.
the play strength
I can
has
see
to
that.
improve. I mean, he's
He's not strong at
he's
all.
not, and
Yep.
that's a bit concerning for me with the size element. But man, he's got. How old is this guy? He is
He is. Hold on.
trying to find. He's not an older player. I mean, he's a senior. I want to
No.
say, but no, he's 6'2", 200 pounds, long, little wiry. But man, this is somebody that
Yep.
you take round 4 or 5. Let him play special teams. Let him get a couple rotation snaps in, and he'll probably start off more as like a camp body, somebody who just sparingly plays. But then year 2,
Step
year
on the
3,
practice squad probably.
I think he'll make the team. I
Yeah.
don't know if he'll get practice squad immediately.
I mean, and like the only reason I say that is because now like the practice squad is that's when they can elevate guys each
Hmm.
week.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
it's so I can see him being up and down on that, but just because his body isn't ready, like he's not strong enough yet. But I see what he possibly could be because like he has like pretty good feet. Like his his feet and hips for his size are pretty good. It's just to your point, he's not strong as a tackler and coverage. Like he can get pushed around. So, but I do like the player because I think he's a good football player.
And now, what range are you think he'll go in the draft? Because I would say right
Five
now,
six.
you think 5'6"? I was
I,
thinking
I
late
mean,
fourth,
like
fifth.
like like right now, I'm thinking 5'6" now. Again, like if he go test out the waters and he goes and show stuff that he don't necessarily show on film, he'll go up around probably just
That's
because
fair.
like
Yeah.
guys who like test well, they always get overdrafted. Never fails.
All right, let's go to move over to our next one, and this is gonna be my second guy. It's gonna be Jay Sean Borham. Now, Jay Sean was somebody who got a little bit overrated at one point, and then it kind of has sort of evened out a little bit to where now I actually think he's a little bit underrated. So Jay Sean moved over to be more of a traditional edge this year, more of
Yep.
like an outside linebacker, that sort of style. Whereas originally he was just kind of being used all around, not really given a true position. Sometimes linebacker, sometimes off the edge. Used more as a gadget guy at times. Now they're using him more as just a straight up pass rusher. And
Yeah.
so when they made the switch,
Finally.
it felt like people said that like finally they're giving him chances, and then they started putting him in like the top 50s, and it was like Jay Sean probably wasn't there. He wasn't that great. He still has a lot of things to work out. That
Right.
said, though, now people are bringing him down, I think, a little too far. I saw a couple big boards where he's at like 150, 140, 130. And I kind of can see why, because he's a very raw player for the position.
Yep.
He's got a lot of technique issues and pass rush plans, stuff like that. But what this dude has for being as big as he is, this dude is twitched up. I mean, let me get the exact
He
measures
is.
here, but he is a twitched up athletic player at 6'3", 243 pounds. I mean, he sort of has the look of a traditional linebacker, kind of like somebody we're going to talk about here in a little bit, Trey
Yeah.
Moore,
Yep.
having that sort of that size to him, but then he's put on a little bit more weight and he's still kind of figuring it out off the edge. He's a young player though. He's only 21 years old, going to be 22 on draft day. I said his elite trait, he's athletic, he's super athletic. Said he's a twitched up, he's got good size. He's got room to grow, and I think he's really good against the run right now, which is not something that I thought I would say because he's not like a 260 edge rusher, right? But I think he's
No,
really competitive and feisty against the run.
he knows how to use his hands. That's
He
what I loved
does.
about him. Like
Yes,
he's like
100%.
that's what makes him good to me versus the run. And like I was gonna put him on my list, but I'm like, oh, this dude's going too high. Like because I to your point, I'm like I saw the same stuff. I'm like he's not going this late.
No,
Like
he's not.
one, he's done both.
Hmm.
When you have done both, you have just natural value. And then to your point, he's still figuring out just how to rush on a consistent basis to where I'm like, once all this stuff clicks, somebody's gonna take him way higher than what I even think because
Hmm.
he has all the traits and tools. I'm a big fan, but his hands in the run game is to me is what makes him really good at that. And like he has probably like 34-inch arms,
Yeah, and you
easily.
nailed it when you talked about not having the nuance as a pass rusher. He just doesn't have
Yep.
that yet, right? He
Nope.
is, kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Georgia, the Jalen Walker, Micah Williams, where
Yeah. Oh,
raw athleticism, raw size, raw bend, all that stuff, but they just don't know how to play the position fully yet. Now,
sure.
Michael doesn't really have the excuse to be a bad pass rusher because he was that his entire career. This guy has been moved around and he's now a senior, just now being put
Hmm.
into where he probably should have been from the get go. So, this is a guy right now that he doesn't have the nuance, the pass rush plan, all the different techniques you can use, but he's got really good athleticism. I think he can use his hands really well. And once you put him into a system that has a good defensive line coach, he's going to just blossom really quickly. I think this is somebody
I
that,
agree.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he becomes a really good pass rusher in the NFL. So right now, I think it's his draft stock is really interesting to me because I think there's a path where he gets drafted round two, but I also think there's a path where he gets drafted like round three ish. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to me because it's gonna just really be based off of like, does the team that draft him or do teams want to take on this bit of a project, right? This guy's gonna take a
Yeah.
couple, potential years to fully get into his position. So that's gonna be the interesting
I,
part with this guy.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
Do you think sometime do you think some team takes him and sticks him back at inside backer?
I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me if a team takes him to get him on the field early, uses him in that role as more of a
Yeah.
gadget guy. But it's the Jalen Walker conversation to me, where it's like
All over again.
you can't
Yeah.
just put him back and forth. You got to stick him in one position and let him fail or succeed there. I'm not a huge fan of like what kind of they did with the kid from Clemson that just never really worked out because they never gave him a true position. They put him at linebacker, put him at
Oh,
safety. Isaiah
Simmons.
Simmons, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
comparing Barham to him; they're different players, but not having that true position, I do think Barham should be sticking as the edge and just putting on a
On the
little bit
edge.
more
Yeah.
weight. But he's going to test super well at the combine. That it's probably going to move his stock up. So Barham is a really intriguing day two prospect for me.
I'm not mad at it.
All
I
right, let's go
like
hear
it.
your next one.
Oh, my next one is his brother is somewhere in the NFL, I believe. Um,
Former
this
Cowboy.
guy's a champion. Still okay.
Well, he
Good for
was
him.
not anymore. Trey Lance is he's on
Where
the
is he at?
Chargers, I think.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay, but Bryce Lance, receiver, North Dakota State University, and he's 6'3", 209 pounds. Big body kid who plays to his size. He knows how to win contested balls. Well, that's mainly because he's not fast. He is not going to test well, but he is a smart, high football IQ receiver who knows how to get open. He he just knows how to make plays. Like honestly, in the red zone, he like they played my Youngstown State Penguins last week, and he was a problem. Like we can't do like this is how I know him. Like this is like we should have won this game, but we couldn't guard this dude because of his size and strength. Um, but really good, really good football player who, in spite of his lack of physical limitations, he's going to have a chance in the NFL because you can't touch receivers, and he doesn't have to be quicker anymore. He has something that a lot of college guys struggle with, and that's strength at the top of routes. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to keep guys out of his chest, even though they are quicker and faster than him. So, and he's intriguing because again, I love small school prospects because I was a small school prospect. So I have a special little place in my heart for guys like that because they have to be twice as good just to even have a chance. And I think honestly, he has to go to a place, with the right system where he can play the X and, you know, just learn how to play in the NFL. But I think he will have a chance at it because he's really smart when you watch him play. He understands how to find soft spots in zone. He understands how to manipulate his speed to get open. Even though he's not really a deep threat, he knows how to get guys to open faster than they would like, even though he can't run past them. Like that is an art in itself.
Yep.
Um, he is not this guy. So when I say this, just temper your expectations when I say this, but they
Megatron.
have similar play style. Wow, that is a pull. That is a hell of a pull. Megatron. Wow, I
Just
can't
like
believe
him.
you. No, Puka. He's like he's not really fast. It's nothing really pretty about his game, but when you look up, you can't guard him. And I've said this before to guys in private. I'll say it to the public right now. Fast receivers aren't the best receivers. All the
No,
best
they're not.
receivers,
Mm-mm.
all the best receivers in the NFL are like kind of fast, but they understand how to run routes. And I think Bryce Lance is that kind of guy. Like he knows how to drop his weight and get in and out of breaks efficiently, but it's nothing pretty, but it's effective and it's efficient.
You bring up the Puka Nakua comparison. I have a player we're going to talk about not next, but after this player that
Mhm.
is just everything you said. You can literally say the same thing about this guy. We'll get to him in a second. But no, Bryce is like he's a fun player to watch. This is somebody that I watched over the summer because you got to kind of prepare yourself for the draft. And Bryce
Yeah.
was never going to be a first, second, or even a third round pick. I mean, this is
Nope.
somebody that will go on day 3, but he is a tough player. He's not a freak athlete or anything like that. He's a capable athlete. He's not going to make people miss this speed. He's not going to run verticals and create 5 yards of separation, right? He's just not going to do it. He doesn't have home run speed. On the year, he only has like what 5 missed tackles for. So this is not somebody you're going to give a screen to. He's going to make 5 dudes miss and score a touchdown. You're not going to do that with this guy. What you're going to use this guy for and say, hey, play on the outside. You're going to make these tough physical catches. You're going to win these 50-50 balls. And
Yep.
look, realistically speaking, is he going to be your number 1 or number 2 or no? But as a 4th or 5th option, I think he'll be a really solid player for a team.
Question for you. Just
Hmm.
I'm just throwing it out because of something you said. To me, he has a skill set very similar to Keon Coleman, but I think he's a better route runner. Just in terms of being able to drop his weight. I think Keon Coleman can only play vertical and try to play like above the rim. Like to me, if I'm Buffalo, I'll put 20 pounds on him, move him to tight end. But I think Bryce Lance, just in terms of when he came out, they're kind of like they can go vertical in terms of like up, like you can't out jump them. But
Yeah,
I think Bryce is a better route runner.
Keon, when he came out, was pure athleticism, size, and spectacular catch. And then you just
Yes.
sort of have to develop around that. Bryce doesn't give you the same level of spectacular catch. He's not going to make, like, Keon made some insane catches in college. Now,
Yes, he did.
it hasn't translated to the NFL much, but you still see the flashes. Keon you're banking on the upside. He has a super high ceiling. Bryce doesn't have the same ceiling as him,
No.
but I think Bryce has around the same floor as him. Like Keon's floor is a good out outside receiver, like an average outside receiver that can
Yeah.
occasionally make spectacular plays, which is kind of what he's been so far in his career. Bryce
Yep.
is kind of the same guy too, where his floor is like he was just going to be a really good 4th or 5th option on the outside that occasionally is going to make a play here and there. That's going to make you say, well, why isn't this guy getting more snaps? But yeah, he's a fun player, and I almost want to skip to my receiver, but we got to talk
Go
about an
ahead.
offensive. Well, if I do, then I got to go through the graphic and stuff. So we'll go in order here, but just know when we get to him, some of the things I'm gonna say, you're gonna be like, "That's Bryce Lance," the same thing. But I'm gonna talk about an offensive lineman here. Talk about my guy Carter Smith from Indiana. Look, is Carter Smith gonna go in the first round? Probably not. Is Carter Smith gonna probably move inside to play guard? I think so. But this
Probably.
dude Carter Smith, his elite trait is that he is just a dog. He is an absolute dog who does not care. So on the season has not given up a sack, and he's gone up against some really good teams. Let me pull up his numbers here. Carter Smith, this is via PFF. I know PFF, little shady stuff going on here, but He's a 3-year starter. He's played 800 snaps in 2024, just under 800 snaps in 2023. Is on pace for over 800 snaps this year, especially if they make a deep run. He's got a
Mhm.
92.8 pass blocking grade, a 90.6 true pass set pass blocking grade. He's good in zone. He's good in gap schemes. Now, he's not a great athlete, and he doesn't have
Right.
insane upside. This is a guy you're going to draft third or fourth round who you're going to stick inside to play guard, and he's just going to be solid his whole career. So for his pros, he's a dog. He's not getting up a single sack. He's got versatility to play tackle or guard, depending on what you need him to do. He's a 3-year starter at a really good program. He's a solid pass protector, and I think he's a very safe pick. Some of his cons: he's got shorter arms. I don't think he has the highest upside. For him being such a dog, I wish he would get a little bit more push in the run game, but you
Yeah.
see times where he's able to move people around. He doesn't get that push you want to get him fully. And
Consistently. Yeah.
yeah, and I think he's more likely to move as a guard than a tackle. But man, I watched this guy, and something about these really physical. And he's not like a Trevor Penning, where Penning was
No.
a dog, but he was an idiot too. Like this guy isn't
Very
an
much
idiot.
so.
He's very much. I think he's probably going to play guard. And I don't know if he starts immediately, but man, I just think he's a really solid player. He's never going to be a Pro Bowler, all pro guy, but getting a potential starting offensive lineman in like early day 3, late day 2,
Hmm.
like that's you can't go wrong with that. So it's not a flashy guy or anything like that, but man, Carter Smith, Indiana would be a different team if he wasn't out there.
He's to your point. He's not flashy. It's nothing that you love about his game outside of the way he plays the game. Like, like he plays the game how you want your best O lineman to play the game and your worst. Like that, it literally can make up for so much. But to your point, I do think he is a better fit at guard than tackle at the next level with some versatility to do it in a pinch if need be. But his superpower is, I just think he's reliable. Like you know what you're getting,
Yep.
and I'm good with it. Like
There's no
his
highs,
value
there's no
lies.
lows.
You this is what he's gonna be. And when he goes against like a real dog on the inside, he's gonna fight and strut and and give himself every opportunity to win versus better athletes. But his ability to get under their skin and just be physical and nasty with them will always give him a chance. This is actually a really good pull because I do think, like, depending on just the numbers and just how guys fall, like he can go in the third. But if you're telling me you get him in the fourth round and he's a day one starter, like I'm good with that. Like that's the type of guy you plug and play and you keep rolling because he does have talent. Like, don't be confused. He's not void of talent, but is not anything as pretty as some of the other guys who may go before him. And but like to your point, like honestly I love the way he plays the game. Like that resonates with me because I always look for that as a scout, like how they finish plays, how they come off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's not overly explosive through his hip to
Nope,
like generate that movement
he's not.
consistently,
Mm-hmm.
but when his feet don't stop. He is trying with everything in him to finish plays. So I like it.
All right,
I
guys,
like the pick.
really quickly, just want to say every Friday at 6 o'clock, me and B Ross or me and Cade, we're gonna be going live. We got different topics. Sometimes we'll go underrated prospects. Next week we might do overrated prospects. We got a lot of fun stuff. We're also doing multiple uploads a week. So if you guys are not subscribed, hit that like and subscribe button. Whether you're watching live, whether you're watching the replay of this, we really appreciate you guys on the road to 1,000. All that said, B Ross, I'm gonna go ahead and hand the floor over to you. You got a
Oh
running back here from Minnesota who's an absolute dog.
man, like I kept him off my list because I knew we were doing this. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it with some of these guys. Darius Taylor, running back from Minnesota, 6 foot, 215 pounds, probably going to run mid 4.5s. Like he doesn't have top end speed, but like he has almost elite contact balance. His ability to stay on his feet through contact is why I fell in love with him as a player. His ability to be decisive. He's north south. Like it's one cut. He's getting downhill. He's not, but he's not dancing in the backfield. And he has some of the best vision. His ability to see cutback lanes as they develop, like not as they happen, like not after they happen. He can see linebackers over pursuing the cutback in a heartbeat. But he's not he is not overly explosive or quick out of cuts, and he
Okay.
lacks like true top end speed. But he does have a good initial burst. But it's just if he gets through, he's probably going to get caught. But I do like the way he runs. He does have the tendency at times to run kind of high. He is a taller back, 6 feet. If you guys didn't know, is kind of tall for a back.
Yeah.
Um, so he can get high at times, making him susceptible to some low target hits. But to that point, his contact balance is really good. Like he doesn't go down easy. He fights for extra yards. And then in the pass game, I think his pass protection is probably some of the best,
Yep.
just in
100%.
terms of technique, hands, his feet. Um, he can, of course, get better. I think he has natural hands as a pass catcher. They don't ask him to do much as a route runner, but just in terms of catching the ball, getting upfield, taking a check down to a screen, he can do that. So I think this is just a good value guy. Like he's gonna be one of them guys where you look up and he's going to be starting because someone's hurt, and then everyone's gonna be talking about him, and then he'll be a hot pickup in fantasy. Like he's that kind of guy to me.
So when we just did our running back midseason top tens. Darius Taylor was really close to because I'm not a fan of either one of the Penn State guys, and
Me
this
either.
was one of the guys that I was like, I really want to. He's just a better
I want
football
to put
player
him.
right now,
Yes,
but he
yes,
doesn't have the upside of those guys. So you got to just kind of give those guys a bit more benefit of
yes,
the doubt.
yep.
This is somebody you take in day 3 probably, and he's just going to be a multiple year player in the NFL. This is
He
a
is.
guy that. So I kind of just read off what I wrote here for some of his pros and cons because we did this and I had my notes for him about a week ago. So I agree with you. I think he has really solid contact balance. Some of the better one in this draft. I think his vision's really good. He's not somebody that's going to explode or have explosiveness. When the hole opens up, he's just going to hit it, and he's not going to necessarily break a bunch of tackles because he's not like a overly physical runner, but he will run through you. But he's not gonna
Yes.
he's not. I don't think he's as physical as Jonah Coleman. I think he breaks tackles a
No.
little better than Jonah Coleman. Um,
Which
he's
is
not.
interesting.
Well, you'd think that Jonah Coleman would be this just monster
A
arm tackler
bowling
guy,
ball, able to, yeah.
and that's the
But he's
frustrating thing about him because he's got it. He just got to get the knee bend up. But
fair.
what I love about this guy, I mean, the little things he does so well for Minnesota. He is a good pass protector to somebody that if you are on a obvious passing situation, you can feel comfortable with him protecting your quarterback. Now, for his cons, I don't think he's extremely strong. I don't think he's an extremely great athlete. He is a little bit taller, which for a running back, you're not going to love. But it's just, we for a lot of these guys we're talking about today, they're not going to be superstars. At least, we don't think they're not going to be all pro, Pro Bowl guys. They're just going to be
Right.
ball players, and they're going to be
Yep.
guys like this is a guy that's going to be in the league for multiple years. And my question to you is, what team do you think would take him? Because I think he fits Houston's
Oh.
identity really well.
It
I like
depends on
Houston.
what it depends on what Houston does around him, just in
Yeah,
terms of
I agree.
like
They would need an explosive number one.
Mixon, yeah, Mixon, Marks, like are those guys there? Because like every team needs like three good dudes and like
Yes.
three different dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need your workhorse who can do probably a little bit of everything, or just a dog. You need your second guy to be either a change of pace guy from your big guy, or a bruiser from your first guy. And you need your third guy to be reliable. He has to be good on special teams. He has to be good in pass protection. He has to be good
That's
protecting
Darius
the
Taylor.
football. And I think that's what he exactly. I think he's a really good three with the potential to be a two in the right system. So to your question, I do like Houston. Trying to think. I was thinking nah, he went it would to me it would be somewhere with a veteran quarterback. And I say that because his pass protection is going to give him a chance to get on the field early and often. You know who he reminds me of? He's just not as physical as a runner.
Who?
Jamal Williams.
Ooh, the former Lion,
Yep.
former Saint as well.
Yep.
That's not a bad pull at all. He does remind me a little bit of him.
That's who he reminds me of. And the reason I say that, because I think I was with Jamal for like 4 or 5 years in Green Bay.
That's right.
Jamal
Yeah.
was reliable. He protected the ball, he ran hard, and if it was a passing down and the back wasn't getting out, he was in the game beside Aaron Rodgers. Like, because he trusted him to be there. Even as a rookie, he trusted him to be there and like hold up. So I think Darius Taylor has that type of ability. So, no, I'm a big fan because I just I just think he's a really good football player. Nothing dynamic about his game. Just a good football player you can count on, and he's gonna play a long time because of that.
All right, let's move over to my next guy. Sticking with the skill position here, I got Cooper Barkate, the former
Mm.
Harvard receiver, now
Oh,
Duke Blue Devil. Look, you talked a bit about Bryce Lance in terms of just being consistent, reliable, not a great athlete, but just will always find open space to catch the ball. That's Cooper
yep,
Barkett in almost every way. Now, Cooper, he's only 6'1", 195. He's not going to win 50-50 balls. And just like Bryce, he's not a great athlete. He's probably going to run somewhere in the 4.5s, right? That said, his elite trait, this guy's smart as hell. I mean, I'm not just saying that because he went to Harvard, but that's,
I
that
mean it
gives you
helps.
it definitely helps. And then going to Duke right after, Duke is no
Oh,
slouch either. But
right.
he plays the game so smart. There's times where what I really love about him, he's not a extremely nuanced route runner, but he's a good route runner. He's
Yeah,
not an extremely great athlete. He's a fine athlete, but not a great one. He's not going to run by people. He's not going to break a ton of tackles. He is going to find space, and he is going to be your quarterback's best friend. Because there was multiple times where is it Mensa, their quarterback? I always forget what school he plays
yeah.
for. There are times where
There's
Mensa
Mensa. Yeah,
will have his first read not open, his second read not open. He's going to roll out, and it is consistently Cooper Barkett who is just finding room for his guy, and he comes back to the football so well. Scramble drill. I mean, I don't know if there's a better receiver in this class than Cooper Barkett because he is
fair.
constantly working back to the quarterback. He is a willing blocker, not a great one. He's not a huge dude, only 195. He doesn't. I think he's a little shorter than 6'1". I think he's more like 6 foot, but he's a willing blocker. He works back to the ball in scramble drill. He sits down in zones very well. He understands zones. He's a little slippery. I wouldn't call him explosive. I wouldn't call him a a great athlete. 9 times out of 10, a corner will catch up to him in terms of just if you have a corner that runs a 4.4 or a low 4.5, he'll match his speed and he'll be fine. This is not a number one. This is not a number two. This is your Jordan Whittington, your Jalen Tolbert,
Mm,
that type of a guy. Somebody that
yeah,
plays on every special teams, somebody that plays as your third or fourth option, likely probably going to play in the slot, but can also play on the outside. This guy, I didn't think I was going to love him. And you watch his game, and it's not like fun to watch, but it's like the little things. He just gets it, he just understands it.
he
So
just knows
I
how to
love
play
this
the
guy.
game. You know who he kind of reminds me of? He's just not as tall.
Who?
Plays for Seattle now. Jake Bobo out of UCLA.
Jake Bobo,
But,
he is
but
everything like that too. Works well with the ball, does everything right. He's never going to be a number one, number two, or number three, but just
nope.
a really solid football player.
You
Bobo
know
can make
what?
some spectacular catches, though. I'll say that.
He can, but Jake Bobo also ran like 4.9.
He won't run a 4.9.
Like I just want to put into perspective. Like
Yep.
Jake Bobo made the Seahawks initial roster, ran 4.9 or 4.8. He it was slow at his pro day. Signed with Seattle, made the team, still on the team. Good
Hey,
football players go a long way in this league because testing and playing speeds are two totally different worlds. Everybody's not good at just lining up and just running fast. Some guys excel at it, then they're not good football players. So no, I like I like Cooper. I do.
yeah, Cooper Barkett, man. Yeah, he probably will go. Man, he's having a hell of a year right now. By the way, statistically speaking,
Yeah.
he had 1,000 yards for Harvard last year. He's already at 45 receptions for 774 yards and 5 touchdowns. I think he's in the conversation for the Bolitnikoff, which he probably won't win it because he doesn't have the name. But man, this
Right.
is a fun ass player. He won't go high. I think fifth, sixth round, maybe
I can
UDFA.
see
Like
that.
it really wouldn't shock me because people are. He doesn't have a trait to him, physically or athletically that you love. But
Right.
if he goes into a meeting and just wins over the coach, there's gonna be a team out there that I think is
Which he
just gonna be
will.
like, we're gonna get this guy, whether it's in free agency or UDFA or sixth, seventh round. I mean, he's a fun player. I hope he goes earlier than that. If he tests well, I think it's gonna do him some wonders. But he's probably gonna run like a
Yeah.
4.59 is my assumption right now.
I can see that. No, I mean, listen, guys like that, all it takes is one team to fall in love with them. Because
Yep.
once they do, they have a plan. Like like they know all your physical limitations. They don't care. They they brought you in to do whatever role. You know what team? I don't know if the one receiver who's there will be there just contract wise. The kid for the Rams, number 18. But like the Rams would be a good like that's the type of place like Sean McVay loves guys like this. Like know how to play the game, smart, instinctive, tough. But no, I like Cooper.
You talking about Xavier Smith or
No,
Kenoda Mumfield
no, no,
or Tutu Atwell?
no.
He
I was
might be on
thinking
a
about
different
somebody else
team.
then. Yeah.
No, but you're not kidding. I mean, this guy has Rams written all over him. The only thing
Who
with
else
the
you
Rams,
thinking?
they already have Puka Nacua, Jordan Williamson. I think fit wise, man, almost. I feel like there's like any team would want this guy. It just comes down to, are you okay with him not being a spectacular athlete? Are you okay with just drafting a really solid special teams player, really solid rotational piece? So, I always say Dallas, but I think Dallas could use a guy like this. Especially if they get rid of Tolbert this
Guys with
offseason.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina could use a guy like this. They could really just use somebody that is a
Mm,
reliable piece. I know they have Hunter Renfro, but Hunter is a little bit older. I think this guy is kind of similar to him in some ways, but he can play a bit more on the outside.
fair.
Cincinnati, I know they have their 1 and 2 set up, but they have had struggles at the receiver 3 for a while.
At 3, yeah.
If they can get this guy the ball, I think he could be a really good player. He can kind of be what they want. I'm blanking on his name, but what they want the guy to be. I had to look
Who?
this up.
I mean, from where?
Cincinnati, their third receiver. I can never remember this guy's name.
Oh, the
Yoshavas.
one from Purdue.
Yeah, yeah, Andre Yoshavas. I mean, he's a good player, but I think they want him to be a little bit better than what he is. He's just not reliable. This is a guy that could be reliable and could be a good fit there. But again, I mean, dude, you can name the team. You can make an argument for why this guy should be on their team's radar. So, fun player, man.
That he is.
All right, let's go ahead and
That he
talk
is,
about your
brother.
next guy.
My next guy, linebacker, Cade. I want to say his name right. It's Oluv. I think
Oh,
is the pronunciation.
is it not
Linebacker.
Uluwave?
It is not from what I've read
I'll take
because
your
I
word
was
for
saying
it.
it. I was saying it the same way, but he's he's a undersized kind of linebacker, but he's instinctive. And what's really impressed me most about him is his closing speed, his ability to get from where he diagnoses to get to the ball, whether he's spying on the quarterback or just closing in on the run. He's really like his closing speed is really good. Like his his 10-yard split is going to be like probably in like a top 80% range. Then it's for to just be real average. As a linebacker, though, like the only thing he doesn't have is size and length because he can get covered up by bigger bodies at time. But he's a good football player. Like I think he's a late day 3 guy who's going to make somebody's team and is going to he's going to outperform wherever he gets picked or not get picked. Uh, he's very smart, very instinctual guy, high IQ football guy, limited athlete, but not a terrible athlete. But his lack of athleticism comes from just from how he's built because he's not a tall, long limb just figure. He's what 6'1", 2. They got him listed at 6'1", 235, which isn't
Yeah.
terribly small because there's linebackers who start who are smaller than him, but uh teams usually like bigger bodies. But no, I think he's a hell of a football player who understands how to play the game, whether pass or run. He does have some limitations as a pass defender just because he's not that athlete out in space,
Hmm.
but he does a good job of playing within himself that allows him to give himself a chance and not put himself in bad situations.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of his numbers right now. He had 19 total tackles versus Virginia Tech, 12 versus Duke. He's had 5 games where he's had double-digit tackles. Um, he's got he's got 3 sacks on the season, and on his career, let me see here, 9 pass deflections, 6 total sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions. When you get a dude who puts up those type of numbers, he's doing something right. When you got a guy that
You
is
get it.
9 pass deflections, 3 interceptions, tells you he's got a little bit of some coverage skills. Then you also throw in 6 sacks with 219 total tackles, 3-year starter for a
Yep.
good program in Cal. He's not a big dude, 6'1", 235, but man, I think he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
so he's
reading
still
this
young.
thing. I'm reading this thing on him that said he was once a projected undrafted free agent. Now he's going to be in the conversation for a 4th round pick.
That's, I mean, I, and like guys like that, the Lions love guys like that. They love those, like they just love good football players. And if teams value just football, if they just value not the athlete, just football, I think he's what the tackle guard is. Um
What
what's his
team?
name? Carter.
Carter Smith.
Yeah, like just in terms of I just think it's a safe pick. If you need a year or two to get him developed, I don't think it takes that long. I think he's just a safe pick at linebacker who is going to outperform wherever he gets drafted because he's a good football player.
And the thing is, too, is he's 6'1", 235. There are linebackers in the NFL that are 6 foot, right? Like,
Terrell
he,
Bernard.
exactly. You don't have to be 6'4" to be a good linebacker at the NFL level.
No.
Linebackers come in all shapes and sizes, and this is a guy. I think he
Yep.
probably plays a lot on every single special teams unit, kickoff,
Yep.
punts, kick return, all that stuff. But as a rotational piece at linebacker for a potential day 3 guy, it sounds like his draft stock's rising to potentially being an early day 3 pick. So really good for him. All right, let's move over to my last guy, and we're going to talk about
One of
Mr.
my
Jelani
favorites.
McDonald out of Texas. So, bit of transparency here. We are both Texas fans, so I think it's fair to maybe say there's a little bit of bias, but I always try to when I watch
That
film,
bit.
have to be as objective as possible. I don't know if Jelani goes pro this year. I think he
Yeah.
could return. I hope he returns, but decent chance he doesn't. Jelani McDonald, man, and I think the best way to put it, he is more athlete than he is football player right now. But he's getting better. This year, he's taken, in my opinion, a nice step forward. For his elite traits, he is a well-sized kind of safety, nickel, wherever you want to use him. And he's got elite versatility. Again, you can put him inside. He can be a box safety. He can play a little deep. He can play even outside corner at times. Like, he can just kind of be moved around to wherever you need him at. His pros, I think he's a really good athlete. He's long and rangy. Let me get the exact measurement here. Jelani McDonald is 6'2", just about 200 pounds for a safety, and
Pretty
he's
good
only a
size.
junior, so he's just going to
Yep.
continue to get bigger and bigger. Um, he's rangy. He can cover he can cover ground well. He's more of an athlete than a football player right now, but I also think he's a plus in run defense. His cons, he's going to have to develop. Certain things in coverage, you just have to clean it up. Now, I think this
Yeah.
year he's taken a big step forward for Texas to where
Absolutely.
there is times where you're like, he might be Texas's best defensive back player, not named Michael Taft, probably. I mean, there's times where he's
Hmm.
outplaying Manny Muhammad, who will probably get drafted higher.
Yep.
I think he needs to improve in man coverage. And my big question is, where are you going to use him at? Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be your inside the nickel or outside corner? Probably more safety. But this is a guy that right now is a moldable piece of clay. We talked about it a little bit earlier with Kilgore, and we talked about it with
For sure.
McNeil Warren. Guys that have size, mobility, elite traits to them, and it's just, can he get into a coaching staff that can turn him from athlete, turn him from clay, and mold
Yeah.
him into being a really good player. And when it comes to a guy like Jelani McDonald, who's got great size, great versatility, good speed, and I think his coverage skills are getting better and better. Like, I think Jelani is a hell of a player that right now, but I would not be afraid to spend a late day 2 pick on him. I wouldn't be afraid to do it if he goes
Me
pro.
either.
If he goes pro,
Me either. Like his film, I remember I had someone ask me, "Where do you think he goes?" And it was early in the year. I'm like, I don't think he should come out yet.
I don't think so either.
I haven't seen anything. Like it was
One more
early in the
year.
year. It was early. I mean, we definitely could use him at Texas. So I mean, my bias definitely kicked in, but at the same time, I didn't think he was playing well, and it was it was after the Florida game where I'm like, he played terrible, like he's not ready. And ever since then,
It's been good.
like a switch has flipped, and he's been playing such good football. He reminds me of, but he's a bigger body, Chauncey Gardner Johnson when he came out of Florida
CJ.
because he was a nickel safety, but he played like mostly he played primarily in the slot, but he would go back to nickel and go back to safety in certain situations. But they have similar like movement skills to me. I just think Jelani is a better tackler and better safety, and Chauncey is a better just pure cover guy due to him being probably 5'11", 200. But I think Jelani, if he does come out, I
Mm-hmm.
think you take him at the top of three, and he's somewhere in your rotation
My
early.
question is, where do you think he goes? Like in terms of what round? I know we've talked about this in the past, but he's got. I mean, look, 31 solo tackles, 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions on the year, and he's taken a big step forward in coverage, and he's still young.
I don't think he makes out the fourth. Honestly,
I don't think he. I don't think he does
is
either.
no way. Is no way he makes out the fourth.
I think he goes
Like
top 100 now.
if he plays well this week, you
Oh yeah,
can
they got some tests. Georgia A&M is
stamp
going to
it.
be a really
You can
good.
stamp it. If he
Yes,
has two good games versus them, you can stamp it. He's leaving,
and
and he's a top
Arkansas,
100 pick.
100%.
Yes,
I 100% agree
yes,
with you. He
because
all the Texas
his
guys.
yeah, like they perform well versus them three schools. Stamp it. Like Jelani can leave with no concerns. Like he will be a top 100 pick because he has size, he has youth, he has experience, and
Mm-hmm.
he's versatile.
Yeah,
Like, and he's a pretty good athlete. Like he covers everything you want in a good day two pick. Like, uh, I think he needs to go to a place where they have at least one guy, and then like maybe like a bridge safety where they're they sign him for a year or he has a year left, so where he can be the third safety and then work his way in. Um, like like best player in Buffalo, he'll be their best safety.
can't disagree. We have a um comment here from Hurts to Win. Hurts to Win. I appreciate you, man. You've been in a lot of my
Hey,
channels,
you always show up, yeah, man.
so shout out to him. He said thoughts on the USC quarterback Jaden
USC
Mayava.
quarterback. You want to take it? Want me to go?
I'll let you go on this one because I like Mayava. I, I just don't know.
But
I
but
just don't know. He's got a lot to his game. Good arm talent. He's a decent athlete. Moves in the pocket well. Can make all sorts of throws. But he is. There's something to him that I'll let. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you explain.
so so I'm a like he is talented and like physically is not too much he can't do. I have he's going to have a bit of a learning curve just because of the offense he plays in. He doesn't have to play on script. And in NFL, in order to have success, you have to learn how to play on script. He has a quick release. He can place the ball anywhere he wants. Like his D ball actually is really good. Um, like I don't think it's too much he can't do physically. It's to me is his inconsistencies when he has to play on rhythm, when he has to play on time, when he has to make an intermediate dig throw 2 yards outside the hash, he misses or he throws it behind. Like I just I'm not a I'm not a fan of Lincoln Riley quarterbacks in their first couple years because they just struggle processing when they need to. That's why Caleb struggled last year. He was trying to play off script all the time, and it just doesn't work in NFL because the pass rushes are better, the coverage is tighter. So I think Jordan needs to go somewhere and learn how to play quarterback. Go somewhere with where there's a veteran there, and he just needs to sit and learn because he does have talent. Like he's all of 6'3", 6'4", 230 plus pounds. Like he has the frame, he has all the tools. It's just that I don't think he like I think he knows how to play the game, but not the position.
I heard somebody said this, and I've heard this comparison a few times. He's people say he's a discount, Jameis Winston, where He
Mhm.
moves in the pocket and he will make two guys miss and he'll roll out and look like a god and then throw an interception when there's a guy wide open down the field. Sir, and I 100% kind of see
I
that
can't hear that.
where I mean there is
I hear that.
there is times where there's a guy open underneath and he's just going for the big home run swing. There's certain things to the quarterback
That's
position where it's just at times you got to learn to take a profit. You got to learn to take the easy
yes,
gains on first and second
yes.
down and he's got everything working
Take
for
what
him.
they give you.
But he's a junior, correct? Or a sophomore? Redshirt sophomore?
He is freshman sophomore, I
Yeah,
believe.
he would be wise to return to college.
Uh,
He's a little bit of older player. He's already almost 23 years old, but if he can return to college, I would definitely advise him to do so. But no, Jaden Mayava, a really fun player. He's a junior, so he's got one more year of eligibility.
you know what it is with
Hmm.
him? He stared down his targets.
He does.
That's what it is. He because when he throws interceptions, you're like they're coming because he doesn't do a good job of looking guys off. It's one read, it's one folk like he's so concentrated. So he has to clean that up for sure. But not a bad player by any stretch. But and because the quarterback class isn't like strong over the next few years, I don't think like it's nothing like go back to school.
All right, let's talk about your last player, Mr. Trey Moore.
Yeah, man. This is I mean, again, like we are Texas fans. We have, the Texas show every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Tune in. Um, so I'm a big Trey Moore fan. I've seen Trey Moore since he was a freshman at UTSA when I used to go through there in a scout. And I remember when he had his breakout year, and they said, "Oh yeah, he's leaving." And like,
Just a
but
matter of
like you
time.
saw the writing on the wall, that he needed to be challenged in a different way. And Texas got him, and they're using him stacked in on the edge. I think he's best suited to play on the edge. Granted, some team might say play inside and fail there first, but I think he has the explosion, he has the bend, he has the quickness and twitch, and like he's a more nuanced pass rusher than people give him credit for. Like he knows how to use his hands. He's like when I say he can bend, he's a really good bender for a guy that's 6'3". Like he can bend under the table, get down, put his ear to the ground, run on the edge of his feet, do all of that. And so I think he's like a good rotational pass rusher. Like if he's your third guy and he can play, he's disciplined versus the run. He's not that strong at the point of attack, but he is very disciplined so that he's not going to let the ball outside of him. He knows how to use his hands. I just think there's like a lot of value in a good third rusher who has a good head on his shoulders, knows how to play the game, smart, and can also drop and cover in space. Like he's a really good foot athlete. He's not this just laggering lumbering DN. Like no, this guy can drop, he can cover. So I think Trey Moore, like you talking about early day three and the board's getting thin, but you need some talent. I think this is the guy you take.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Trey Moore is they moved him to inside linebacker this year.
Yeah.
To pair opposite with Anthony Hill and Leongo Lafau, and then kind of feels like they've put him a closer to the line of scrimmage a little bit more as of late, which is where I
Yeah.
think he's a bit more natural. But and we talked about with Barham having that ability to be versatile, to play multiple positions, is interesting. And I think there are certain edge rushers where it's like you can't put him in a 3-4. He has to have his hand in the dirt, right? Or you can't put him, as an outside linebacker with, in a
Right.
2-point stance. I think Trey Moore can fit in both. So this is not a situation where he's like, this is a scheme dependent player. No, you can use him as a 3-4 outside linebacker, a 4-3 edge. If he maybe can drop a bit of weight, like 10 pounds maybe, he could be an inside linebacker. I think he'd be a good run defensive inside linebacker, but
Yeah.
I would, like you kind of talked about, I would prefer him as an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
I think he works better when he is in that 2-point stance. I feel like he's more comfortable there, but he can work as a 4-3 edge. So this is a solid player. I mean, at
Pittsburgh.
Texas, his first year at Texas, it took him a little bit to get going, but once he got going, I mean, this
Yeah.
guy was just always in the backfield. He does have good bend. I wouldn't say he has like a plethora of pass rush moves, but he's definitely got a
No.
bag. I mean, he can move around, do a couple things. He's not a raw player. He's been in college for a few years now. This year at Texas, they're using him all over the place. Now I think they're moving him a bit more close to the line of scrimmage, but he sometimes still is playing inside linebacker, and he's a big part of this Texas defense. That's one of the better ones in the country. So I love Trey Moore, man. Just a really solid football player. I agree with you. I think, man, round 5 I think looks about right for him. Round 5, and
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, he's got Arizona Cardinal written on him. I don't know what it is. I think
I
Arizona.
hope not.
I hope not too, but
No.
he's got Arizona Cardinal written to him because Arizona.
No.
I mean, look, they've done it with Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, you know, can play as an outside linebacker, can play as a 4-3
Yeah.
edge, has really developed nicely. I mean, obviously he went to Philadelphia early on, was I think a middle
Right.
round pick. Maybe Trey Moore could be somebody similar there. There's a lot of teams you could go to be that rotational second or third wave guy and play multiple positions, but really smart, really quality football player.
Pittsburgh.
All right.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's where
Pittsburgh
he needs to
Steelers.
go. Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt,
I
all
like that
day.
a lot, actually.
Pittsburgh.
That is a great call out. Before we end, did you have any other players you just want to briefly talk about, mention as maybe some underrated guys you liked but couldn't bring to the table yet?
Yeah, it's one. Terry Moore, safety from
Ooh.
Duke, who tore his ACL. So he missed this year. Last year, baller. I don't want people to forget because I'm pretty sure I think he has to come out due to eligibility. So,
Hmm.
but he hasn't played at all this year because he
Interesting.
tore his ACL at the end of the last season,
Oh,
I
I see
believe.
him. Yeah.
He is a baller. Like him and Chandler Rivers
Mm.
in that secondary were going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm
And
looking
I just don't forget.
20,
Listen to what D Ross tell you.
2024,
Baller.
90.1 PFF grade, played. I mean, he played every position. 155 in the slot, 174 in the box, 379 deep. He's a fun player, man. Fun player. I gotta watch this guy.
Listen,
Um,
you go love him.
a few players I want to mention. I think the tight end from Baylor is a really good
Michael
football player.
Trigg.
Michael Trigg.
I
He's
like
not gonna
Trigg.
go early round 1, but he's just a quality player.
Yes.
Clev Lubin from Louisville. He's a
Louisville.
strong player, 6'3", 250.
I was
He's
gonna
got
put him on my list.
he's got
I thought about it.
he's got some nuance he's got to develop though, but he has some of the physical tools that you're looking for. Um, who else? Michael Taft. I know we're talking about Texas a little bit. Michael Taft, just a really smart
Yeah.
player in the back end. Who else? Anybody else you got?
Let's see. Not off the top of my head.
Oh, the corner from Ohio State.
Which one?
Igbenogson. He has gotten
He's
better.
having a
He's
he's having a
year.
good year this year. Yeah.
Last
He's
year
playing
was
a lot better than last year. Yeah.
last year was a little bit rough. This year though, he's taken a bit of a step forward. He is a traditional outside corner. He's got good size, 6'2", 195, long arms. He's still very physical, and very hands-on, but
Yeah.
there's something to him where it's like I could see him being a guy that plays in the league for a few years. I like him quite a bit. I know you like Le'Veon Moss,
I
who
do.
he's gonna be probably
I do.
down a lot of people's boards, but he's got a lot of talent.
Oh, DN, Arkansas, Quincy
Rhodes,
Rhodes.
good player.
Yeah.
I know our other co-host here, Cade, he likes what's his name? The center for Iowa, Logan Jones, I think his name is.
Yep.
He likes him a lot. I think it's gonna be really interesting if UCLA has a good game. I think they play Ohio State in a few weeks because Nico's playing a lot better. Nico Iamaleava.
Mhm.
He's a guy that probably should return for another year, but he loves the money. He's a redshirt sophomore.
He did redshirt his first year.
So he can technically come out. He's a guy that if he gets good grades, I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves to go pro. But I think he should return.
Money.
If I was him,
Because
I would
his grades won't be
transfer
good.
and I would go to Miami. Those dudes, they need a quarterback after this year. No more Carson Beck. They got money,
And they're going to pay.
and they're gonna pay.
They are going to pay.
Alrighty, y'all. Anything else you got to say? Anything else you want to say? Anything like that before we hop on out of here?
No, man, I'm good.
All right, y'all. You guys hit that like and subscribe button. Again, we are going to be live every single Friday at 6 o'clock. We got shows coming out throughout the week. They're not live, they're going to be uploaded in the morning. We have a mock draft coming out soon. We got videos coming out, 3 videos a week, and a live show. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned
Like,
for all that.
subscribe, share, tell your friends. First and 10, we are here.
100%. All right, you guys. You guys have a great day. Peace out.